Hi, everybody. It's Wednesday, 4:29, I believe. Millie's outside. We just went for a walk, and she loves chasing the lizards here. We have a bunch of lizards, but it's overcast today, so the lizards are sleeping. So she didn't get to chase any, but she wanted to stay outside after our walk, which she usually does. So I left her out there, but it's time for the news. So she may not be here for the news today. Remember last year, ex-FBI Director Comey posted seashells on the beach sand, laid out to read 8647, and later deleted the post apologizing? It was supposed to be that 86 to get rid of, and 47, of course, Trump was the 47th president. So he's accused of stating, take out Trump. He was indicted for that yesterday. And you know, they're probably searching for things to get him on, but I'm fine with that because that guy has committed so many crimes. He lied to Congress and nothing happened to him. So I'm glad to see that they're getting on him. Here's a good one. The top Fauci advisor indicted in first criminal prosecution against a senior COVID official, David Marins, criminally charged with hiding emails, destroying records, and evading transparency laws to shape the COVID natural origins narrative. He used his personal Gmail to dodge FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, worked with EcoHealth's Peter Daszak to fight the lab leak theory. So, you know, and he's low-hanging fruit. And so you know what they do is they get those guys and then tell them, hey, if you lose this case, you're looking at 10 years in prison. So we need you to turn in evidence, and then we'll give you a reduced sentence. And so, you know, they're going after Fauci. I'm sure Fauci's lawyering up right now. President Trump has instructed aides to prepare for an extended blockade of Iran, which, by the way, raised oil prices. I hear we're up to $111 per barrel now. There are still about 8,000 ships with about 20,000 mariners stuck just outside the Strait of Hormuz. You know, and I got to thinking about the poor guys working those vessels. Ordinary seamen can earn as much, that's what they call them, OS. They can earn as little as $800 a month. Able seamen, AS, make about twice that. They work long hours, like 10, 12 hours a day. They spend months away from home, and in this case, maybe longer, sitting outside the strait, not knowing if it's going to open or not. And they deal with the stress, especially in this situation in Hormuz. So they have a really tough job. They work long hours, and they make crap money. So, I don't know. I feel bad for those poor guys. And they usually hire them from places like India, and, you know, there's no jobs, and people are dying. And so they take the slave labor type jobs. It's really too bad. The Pentagon asked Congress to codify the Department of War name change. You know, they used to be called the Department of Defense. Now they want to be called the Department of War, which is fine, except that an official renaming estimated to cost nearly $52 million and require about 7,600 updates to federal law. And I'll bet that $52 million is nowhere near close to the actual cost. It'll be much more. Just to rename it to the Department of War. I mean, I understand Department of War sounds more aggressive than Department of Defense, and maybe psychologically might help our troops to do their job. But to spend $52 million to change the name, I'll tell you, I think our government's out of control. Okay, Pfizer is the one who started making a fake rennet called Chimax. And rennet, if you don't know, comes from a calf's stomach, and it's what they use to make cheese. It does something to the milk. It takes some coating off the milk, and it allows the milk to bond, the atom molecules to bond, something like that. Anyway, that's where they get rennet. Well, Pfizer made a fake rennet, genetically modified organism derived from fermentation of E. coli. You can't tell it's in the cheese product because they don't list it in the ingredients. They hide it under the term enzymes. 90% of American cheese contains this product that Pfizer sold. Now, Pfizer sold that product to another company out of country. Forget the name. But they somehow purified this product. And I think now they don't use E. coli. They use another organism. And they purify it. And because they purified it, the FDA allows them not to call it a GMO. So it doesn't say GMO on your cheese. GRAS, G-R-A-S, which stands for generally regarded as safe, is the label they give food products that are self-regulated by the companies that make them. From what I understand, RFK has some problems with this generally considered safe stuff. People should have the right to know what they're buying. I'm going to go back and look for animal rennet cheese and get back to you on that and see what I can find. I understand. I reported yesterday that the UAE, United Arab Emirates, is leaving OPEC, and I wasn't sure exactly what the ramifications of that was. Well, I read an article last night that said the reason they're leaving is to get away from the petrodollar. And so they're going to go into this stable coin that Trump's is working up. Very interesting. The stable coin is going to back our treasury because the dollar bill will no longer do that. They know it. They know our system's collapsing. And so it'll be interesting. It may take a year or two from what I've read. But the petrodollar may be gone.